How are you doing out there, my friend? See, this is why I don't sing often in public or ever in public, because I can't do it, as you just heard right there. How are you, everyone? This is Tim from Ski Rex Media, as you know, and I'm coming here to you today with another off-season shenanigans program. I hope you are enjoying the idea of this. I know it's bi-weekly, but hey, things slow down in the off-season, am I right? If you have an off-season, obviously, you don't have to have an off-season. The season doesn't have to end, which we could talk about today too, and I probably will here after I do the reads. The reads, what are the reads? For those who are new, my ad reads. That's right, from my partners. First, let's talk about Whaleback Mountain. I talked about them all winter long, and I'm going to keep talking about them because I love Whaleback Mountain. Yes, I do. Whaleback Mountain, their season doesn't stop. The ski season stopped for them. Obviously, there's no snow over there. It's too warm to make snow, but they keep going. They have stuff. What do you want to do? Do you want to go play a little disc golf? You could do that at Whaleback Mountain. You want to play a little sand volleyball? You could do that at Whaleback Mountain. You want to walk up it and check out the views? You could do that too. Do you have kids who want to participate in a summer camp experience? They can do that. Do you need family get-togethers and family to-dos and events and stuff? They can do all that for you. Give them a call and they will tell you what they can do for you, which is quite a bit, including providing live music. That's right. On July 1st, the Adam Ezra Group returns to Whaleback Mountain to put on another awesome show. And it was awesome last year, and I expect it to be just as awesome this year. Tickets are on sale now, or if I'm wrong about my dates, maybe this episode won't be out, and the show will already have come and gone. No, it won't. It will not have. The show is this weekend. Right. If you're listening to it on the 28th, which is when it will debut, June 28th. So on this weekend, July 1st, Saturday, the Adam Ezra Group returns to Whaleback Mountain. Tickets are on sale now. Whaleback Mountain, ski it to believe it, or visit during the summer too and have a good time while you're out there. Right. Also, we're still talking about Saint Custom Skis and Snowboards in Gorham, New Hampshire. They are out there making skis and snowboards for people that are completely custom. The length you want, the width you want, the graphics you want, whatever you want, they can get it done. And getting your stuff done during the season, or during the off season, I should say, is probably the best time. That way you're ready for the following season. Am I right? Get everything together and give them a call. Go to saintskis.com, give them a call, give them an email, give them a message on social media, and see what they can do for you. Saint Custom Skis and Snowboards from Gorham, New Hampshire. So what are we going to do during the off-season, or what could be the off-season? A general off-season, if you will. And that's part of what Off-Season Shenanigans program is going to be about. I'm going to have more interviews and stuff like this. And I hope that you enjoyed last week's interview with Robert and Ryan Delana, or last episodes, not last week's. Very fun, great conversation. The book is wonderful. I obviously tied it into off-season for people who work on the summer reading list. We hear about the summer reading list. People talk about having a summer reading list. And being that it's summer, go ahead and read that book. It's a very, very good book. I enjoyed the story, and I enjoyed talking to them. And I'm going to enjoy talking to them down there at the Snowbound Expo, where they will be speaking. Now, if you have listened to the episode, I did say at the end that I knew something that no one else did, and I was told that they were going to be there before it was announced. And at that time, while we were recording, I wasn't sure how the folks over at Raccoon Media, they're running the Snowbound Expo. They would have, if I could have just dropped that out there. Like I couldn't remember how they handled these announcements. If they wanted first dibs, or if I would have just dropped it would have been fine. I couldn't remember, so I didn't. And funny enough, I never checked to see what they would think about that. So if I get another scoop ahead of time, I'll have to check then if I remember to do it then. But that was a lot of fun, and we tied it into the summer reading list, and I hope you all enjoyed it, and I do hope you all pick up the book. And if you haven't picked up the book, if you haven't listened to the episode, please do so. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to Ski Rex Media. Now, what else are we going to do during our off season here? And like I said before, and I've said this many times, you don't have to have an off season, in the 21st century with technology and other, developments, we can keep skiing and snowboarding all season. And by that, I mean, we have indoor slopes, obviously more popular in places like Asia and Europe, but here we do have one, Big Snow American Dream, and they've been running all summer. They've already had a couple of different events there, and, they're open daily, the whole thing. You can check that out here in the U.S. There's dry slopes all over the place. We have them here too. You get into grass skiing. You can go up to higher elevations if you're able. And again, these things are all available because of technology. For the most part anyway. I mean, obviously not the higher elevation stuff. You've been able, humans have been able to do that for years and years and years and years and years, but I'm sure it gets a little easier, beyond. Technology must make it easier, I'm sure, because that's what technology does. I don't have the skill set to go too high myself. I don't know anything about climbing or mountaineering. So as a PSA to all those listening to Ski Rex Media, please make sure you know what you're doing, or go with someone who knows what they're doing, or learn how to do what you're doing. That way it's safe and you come back alive, and you don't have to put anybody else at risk to come pick you off the side of a mountain. But beyond that, technology, I'm sure technology, like I was saying, makes that a little bit easier too. Plus technologies with the dry slopes and the indoor slopes and what have you. You can keep going. Plus, you got to remember, man, the 21st century, while yes, air travel is expensive, I'm not going to lie about that, and it is a pain in the ass, and nobody likes to do it, except for the fact that you get places quicker. So the Southern Hemisphere is completely open to anybody who wants to go down and do it. It's totally available. I don't know what's open down there right now, but it is available. So you could go down there and just keep skiing. And then if you have grass skis, you could do that too. Whatever it is, you could obviously keep doing it. So the season doesn't ever have to really end for anyone. I had a plan to ski. Sorry about that. I just knocked something off my desk if you heard that. I had a plan to ski at least one day every month for the entirety of 2023, and I wasn't able to pull it off. I missed, I made it into April, but I missed May. So that was on me, but that's okay. I'll try again next year. You know what I'm saying? But for some people the season doesn't end, but for some of us it does. I know I kind of lost my train of thought there. Did you hear it? That's the problem with these solo podcasts. If I get into a groove and I just keep talking, I completely lose where I was. Isn't that awful? I think that's part of the appeal though, man. Where's Tim going to end up next? But in any case, my point was the season doesn't have to end if you don't want it to, and you can keep going. And I was going to keep going, but I wasn't able to. So what else am I going to do? And we all know here in the Northern Hemisphere, we have any and all kinds of activities to participate in. Hiking, biking, both mountain and road, inline skating, skateboarding, camping, the beach, boating. And you see a lot of these, especially in the days of social media. You keep you keep in touch with your friends, you keep in touch with everybody, your family, and you see people who have moved from, the slopes onto the boats, onto the bikes, onto kayaks, into the, mountain trails for hiking and whatnot. And I'm going to do that too. I actually have a bit where I want to start hiking up the ski mountains that I ski at. So I'm going to start doing that around here and branch out and see if I can do that 1 or 2 or maybe even 3 times a week, if I can, if the weather holds. Now, I'm not saying I don't have the skill set to go hiking in the rain and do it safely. I just don't want to. And then who would? Well, some people dig it. Not for me, though. I can do it. I have done it. Not going to do it. Anyway, not the point. The point is there's so many things we can do. There's so many things I want to do and I'm going to do. But let's talk about something specific. And this I want to talk about because it's something that I've already done a few times this season. It's something I dig on, and it's something I tell people at the end of the ski season as the snow is melting, go do it, because that's the best time to do it. is to go check out the waterfalls that are in and around your area or another area. If you come up to Vermont or go into New Hampshire or go into New York or wherever, look up waterfalls, and they're everywhere. Now, you could say, Tim, why be so specific with waterfalls? Because I think they're great. I love going down by them. I love if there's enough rocks to go out into the water. If you are into the swimming hole lifestyle, there's a lot of these that have the swimming hole, because at the bottom of the waterfall, it's dug it out, so it's a little deeper, so it becomes a swimming hole too. You go to a lot of these places, and there's just tons of people swimming and hanging out and taking pictures. It's a great social experience if you want it to be. And I'm going to tie it in here with skiing, snowboarding, and other snow sports. How am I going to do that? It's all about location. And it's very easy. Like, for instance, I was at a waterfall just recently, right near Okemo. Right in the shadow of Okemo. It's called Buttermilk Falls, as a matter of fact. And it is right by Okemo. You know where it is, actually, for those who know the area. And so I'm not BSing you here. It's right where 100 comes down and meets with, what is that, 103? Yes, I believe that is 103. And there's a light there. And you've gone now through Ludlow, and you're still heading west. Eventually you'll come out near Rutland on Route 7. And that's where it is. It's right there. And very, very easy to get to. That's another thing I wanted to bring up about these. It's like, what can we do to keep going during this summer, for activities and to keep moving? And for some of us, keeping moving is different. Some people need to keep moving to the point where they're working out every day. Other people don't. Buttermilk Falls specifically, most of it is very easy to do. The upper part, the biggest part, is a little more difficult. Not hard, though. Definitely not accessible if you are disabled or anything like that. But, but again, technology, I don't know what some people are capable of. The point is, do your research before you go. That way you know if you can get there or not. But that was what I was trying to get at, is some of these are easier, some of these are harder, and it's all up to you where you want that to land. But the ones I have been to have all been fairly easy if that's what you're looking to do. If you're looking to just chill for this part of the season and you do your working out in the gym and you're now just looking for stuff to check out, and like I've always said, I say this all winter too, take in the view. Take a look at the view, man. If you're up at the top of a ski mountain, look at the view, see what it is, see what what you can see. So many beautiful views out there. And this is just a similar idea. Watch watch how awesome nature can be. And like I said, there's that one near Okemo, Buttermilk Falls. We ski there, might as well stay in the area and keep doing these things, right? I could keep going. Thundering Brook Falls up by Killington. Very easy to get to. It's right along the Appalachian Trail. And again, not hard to do if you're looking to take it easy. Like the 90% from the parking area on the road to the actual falls where you can see it, 90% of that is a boardwalk. Like I say, it's on the Appalachian Trail. It is. It really is. And it's not on the long trail at that point. It's just after, I think it's just after where the long trail and the Appalachian Trail split. Because the Appalachian Trail and the long trail are the same from Massachusetts to just around Killington. And but it's boardwalk right there. That part of it's boardwalk. You can walk right up to it. Not a problem. You want another one that's not so hard, but could get hard, similar to Thundering Brook Falls? Up by the Middlebury Snow Bowl, there's Texas Falls. That's right. A waterfall site named after a state that's 2,000 miles away. I don't know if that's why it's named after, if it's actually named after the state of Texas or not. I don't know that. What I do know is that one's, again, not super accessible for people who might have a disability, whether you have a wheelchair or whatever it is. Again, do your research, and you're going to understand your technology that you have available better than I am, because I just don't know. But you could, I mean, the beginning of it is not, you could get onto the bridge and see it. Maybe not so much on the path, but then again, maybe you could. I don't know. Up to you. But there are some that are a little bit more difficult. And this is where the research comes from. For instance, there's one over by Stowe. What is that one called? I can't remember offhand. I just can't remember what it is offhand. And now I can't even find it on the map. But it is up there. And I will update you if I find it, because I might go back there. But that one is a bit tougher. You have to take a path all the way down into what amounts to, what would you call the feature? I don't want to call it a canyon, because it's not a canyon. It's not a slot canyon. But, I mean, you get the idea. It takes a little bit to get to. So some of these things could, if you are looking for a little bit of, you're looking for a little bit of a challenge, depending on your, how good, how in shape you are, because Lord knows I'm not, and I have to fix that too. We might be talking about exercise on the Off-Season Shenanigans program at some point, because I need to do it as well. But again, do your research, check it out. And that's really what this episode should be about. I could tell you all about these waterfalls, and they're all awesome. They all are so different. And we know that because there is no structure in nature, if that makes sense. Like, there are no straight lines. There are no, none of the, what we see as basic shapes that are straight lined and 90 degrees and is aesthetically pleasing to the human eye. Things just happen. It's natural. We use that term. It's natural. It's fluid. It meanders, it moves. It's, these rivers and these gorges and these small canyons, they were all cut when the ice age, when all the ice started to recede and just rip through the mountains. And then the water started to flow, and eons upon eons and thousands of years, the water cuts its way and winds its way. It has no path. It has no decision making. It doesn't know what it's doing. It just does it. So they're all different. And it's so awesome to see the power of nature, to think about it. You're looking at these rocks, and it's water cut these things apart and made all these shapes in it. And then the rivers run. And one of the reasons I always say at the end of the year, check out the waterfalls. This is the time, because the snow is melting. And now you get all that water that's just rushing through the creeks and the rivers and the streams. And they make these waterfalls that much bigger and louder and more powerful. Not bigger, but, more flow, more water capacity. It's very, very cool. I've always thought it was cool. I think a lot of people think it's cool. Think about the big waterfalls. Niagara Falls up there in New York. Let's stay here in the USA, because that's the one I know the best. That's the one I've been to. I've been there. A lot of us have been there. How cool is it to watch that? Just all the water thundering down. And it's just a river that starts higher and ends lower, and then water comes dumping down. Again, water doesn't have a plan. It just goes. It doesn't care what's in its way. It just goes. And that's how you get these cool formations. And you get these waterfalls, but there are so many smaller ones, maybe not as grand, but definitely cool to look at, definitely cool to visit, definitely cool to see. And right now in Vermont, man, it's not raining. The rain it hasn't been constant. I can't say constant, but we have had a lot here in Vermont, and it's going to start again. Let's see, this is coming out right next week. What's next week? What's the date that you're listening to this? If you're listening to it on Patreon, it's the 25th of June. If you're listening on first day of general audience, it's the 28th of June. The weekend of the 23rd, 24th, and 25th, it's supposed to rain again. So and again, this benefits a lot of different activities. Like the whitewater people. You like to get in your boat and shoot the rapids. I don't know anything about that, so I'm not even going to try and get into the lingo. I'm totally probably using it wrong. But, more water running quickly, more exciting rapids. Same with the waterfall. More water that's flowing, the more that's pouring over the edges, the more exciting it is. It's very cool. If you're a wildlife person, when I was at that Buttermilk Falls, I saw a mink go running by. I think it was a mink. I'm pretty sure it was a mink. My knowledge of wildlife, though not terrible, is definitely not perfect. And that's something else we might talk about this season, is the wildlife watching, because it's very cool. And then, excuse me. But anyway, The waterfalls are awesome. And if you're coming up to Vermont, if you live here, if you're visiting here, if you're getting out of the city, just do a quick search on your search engine of choice and you can find 1, 2, 10, 100. Take your pictures, check it out. Do not be an animal and destroy it. I think during the pandemic, some clowns got out on the rocks at Thundering Brook Falls in Killington and did some spray painting, some, vandalism. This isn't even graffiti. I mean, it is graffiti, but it's not the cool graffiti art that some professional has been working on for years to perfect their craft and then gets commissioned to paint a mural. No, these were clowns just being assholes, and we don't want that, and you don't want that, and you shouldn't want that. You know what I mean? Be cool to nature, be cool to wildlife, be cool to the people around you. Go check it out. Do it safely. Like I said, do your research. Look up, how hard it is to get to it, how hard it might not be to get to it, and check it out, man. It's just a great way to spend the off season, and it gives you something very cool to look at. And in some cases, it's very cool in the literal sense. We went up to Texas Falls once this season already. The high for the day, I think, was supposed to be close to 80, and it was a day it wasn't raining. We were up there, and we were glad that we went at the time we did, because we would have gone in the morning. It would have been like 40 degrees. We got there, it was barely 60, and it was breezy, and it was cold. It felt cold. I mean, it felt nice for me, but it was cooler, Plus, once you start heading up towards the Middlebury Snow Bowl and cresting up over the top where that one part of the Middlebury College campus is, up on the top of that, it's higher. It's higher, so it gets a little cooler out there. So always bring a hoodie or a sweatshirt of some kind, right? Right. I think I'm good for that. These solo episodes, I want to keep them. I know sometimes with the guests, we go an hour or more. I don't think anybody wants to just hear me talk by myself for an hour. So we'll get a move on here. So I totally suggest the Waterfalls for your off-season shenanigans. Check that out. Get outside. Get some fresh air. It's a lot of fun. Some of these are a hike. Some of them aren't so hard, like I said. So again, do your research. And as the summertime continues here, the off-season here in the Northeast, we will be talking to more people. I'm going to try and line up a few more guests. I'm going to try and do a couple more programs like this with suggestions, topics, rantings, whatever it is. And we'll see you out there during the season. And then this fall, we'll see you at Snowbound in November. I will be there. Tickets are on sale now. I am a press partner this year, so I will say tickets are on sale now. And try to look at my code, Ski Rex Media. That's it. Just type it in as one word, SKIREXMEDIA. I think you might still be able to get the $1 tickets. I could be wrong about that, but it's worth a try. Get your $1 ticket if you can still get it, right? Right. You have yourself a good day, a good afternoon, a good evening, a good morning. Whenever you're listening to this, stay safe if you're playing outside. Definitely get that sunblock if you're in the sunny areas. And if it's raining, make sure you're dressed for that too, because it doesn't seem like the rain is going to stop for more than a day or two at a shot here, right? Right, but that's fine. Fill up those snow-making ponds, and then I will see you out there when the snow starts flying here in the Northeast, and maybe we'll venture out this year, right? Right. I am Tim from Ski Rex Media. Again, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you follow. Go ahead and follow on social media. Pick the social media you want to pick, whether it be Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, or even LinkedIn if you're into the business thing. That's what that's used for mostly. And again, skirexmedia.com. Sign up for the newsletter. I'd have to do better with that, and I will. Right. Tim from Ski Rex Media. Follow Ski Rex Media everywhere, and we will see you out there right later.